Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for the finale, I guess you would say, of the seasonal content of Mushishi. It's the last episodes before the special, I guess is an easier way to say that. I have them designated episodes 21 and 22. We're going to watch those here today. Got a little bit confusing there with the episode numbers. People are a little bit confused as well. I don't know. Anyway. I have the singular Patreon comment here today from Matthew Brancher. The detail this show provides to nature, like that flood sequence, is something that Matthew's really honed in on the rewatch. Just thinks it's really rare, and I would agree, I would concur, in anime for, you know, for you to go more than 5 seconds generally without dialogue. Maybe 5 seconds is a little bit too, but like that's like a genuine minute where we're just kind of taking it out, and it's kind of like, you know, it's not obvious what we're doing. It's not also part of the story in a, you know, literal sense. It's something that you look at and that you kind of draw meaning from. It's kind of opaque and reflective and really mature, and something that I want to appreciate as well, and want to like shout out as something that's really cool. Now we get into something super interesting, because again, I still hold a really high opinion of episode 20, and this was a lens that I didn't see it through at all, and now upon reflection is a pretty obvious one, right? So mother has child, doesn't really love child very much, maybe puts child through something, you know, pretty fucking traumatic early on. The child then goes and does something dangerous, like drugs, alcohol, any other type of thing that the parents would disapprove of, and the parents see that as them acting out specifically against them. So I think it's interesting that we originally frame it through the parents' kind of emotional side. Like the parent, the mother there is like, no, he must be doing this lightning thing specifically to spite me. But that's not the case. He has his own thoughts, feelings, opinions about why he's doing this thing. Now, drugs, alcohol, probably not the best example, because you probably shouldn't be overindulging in those if you're a child. I guess it's more to say that whatever the child is doing, it's not about the parents. It's about whatever they want from whatever they're doing, right? It could just be them, you know, not hanging around the house as much. They could have their own friends and, you know, hobbies and whatever else that you disapprove of, and you see that they're, you know, acting out against you specifically. It's not about you, mum. That's kind of the take I'm taking from that, I guess. Just, yeah, a fabulous episode. It's really, really up there for me. And I know we mentioned this before as well, but Ginkgo dressing in somewhat more modern clothes, specifically, I believe in the last couple episodes, he's been in like a polo shirt pretty much. It's a really cool detail of the show. It reads as kind of this metatextual thing where Ginkgo represents the mangaka or staff of the show going around solving these mysteries, gleaning whatever kind of messages they can from these old, timeless sort of stories. That's another really, really astute point. Just, yeah, in general, these Mushishi stories being something that you can pluck from many different time periods and just apply, right? Because they are human. They just, as long as there's humans, these stories are going to be relevant. And that's where I come with the show's sense of time at all. The fact that it's episodic, the fact that, you know, basically you could watch, you know, episode 3 or episode 23 and, you know, it wouldn't really matter. There's not a contiguous thing there. There's also not really even a timeline. Sometimes it seems like we're earlier in Japan's time period. Sometimes it seems that we're later. It's really playing fast and loose with that kind of stuff. It definitely is one of the tenets of the show, you would say. And we'll leave that there for now, and we'll shout out the rest of the patrons, of course. I have a Patreon. If you would really like to see the finale episode, that kind of double-length special next week, it's up there ready to go. If you're really into your whatever's going to win the poll, or Musume. If you're into either of those, they're up on the Patreon early as well. A very big thank you to Sean, Ace Lightning, AJ, Akametsa, Astif, Bernardo Ramahama Damasama, Batero, Brennan M. Gibbons, Brett Jones, Capella, Chobaribi, Copley, Cure Dynamic, Dakota, Dapper Dwarf, Diark Lord, Doke Hyo, Eclipsing, Ed, Eric Algelius, Fancy Question Mark, Free Weekend, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloria Tenebrae, Glyke, Hans Peter, I Bailey, Ika, Iria, Yaku Yavden, Jacob R, Jeff Solis, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Lexi, Lick H, Lou, Lupe Ferrugia, Maddock the Doppelganger, Matthew Mortlock, Mickey Babbers, Miru, Mistake Yel Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Nature Without Man, Noah, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Pike, Rex15M, Ronlad B&K, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Samuel Guerrero, SGM Jarnus, Shiny Haxorus, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Terrence, Tobias Dal Christensen, Waifu Overdose Without a Net, Binchi, Jummy Boo, Kelvin, BD422, Fluffy, Matthew Bratcher, and Ren. Thank you very much for giving me money. I enjoy the money. Mushishi is an episodic show. I do not need to set it up in the same way that I set up other shows. Episode 21, as I have it designated, is upcoming next. And there we have it, episode 21 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 46 seconds on this one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the ARC version with the Decky Nice subs, so get that version if you'd like my version. Also, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. It's been a while since we've seen this. So do we have an opening as well? Yeah, okay. A real short one then. Like, peeling back the curtain a little bit, right? I'm guessing that we put that intro in, slash the opening in, slash the ending in, and change its length somewhat, which we have been doing, as kind of like however much room we need in the episode. So this one obviously is a little bit shorter than the rest when it came out in the wash. So, like, I find that very interesting from, like, a production point of view. It just means that, you know, this episode's going to be just a little bit shorter. Yeah, that's cool. I've got great news as well. It's less hot today. It's still, I think, 34 degrees or something, but it's not 44. We'll take that. It's been a long week of hot days, man. And it's crazy, right? Because, like, the US, they've had all them winter storms at the moment too. Like, the world's crazy. World's crazy. And you have a significant portion of the population that tries to tell me that there isn't. Anyway, we're not going there. What am I, 28? This is the hottest summer that I've been through. By a long way. Mountain Peak. Bit foggy. Misty. Yuri, yes please. I said yes please. Okay, focus. Lost. Not so lost. Dead. How so? I see. And you guys are aware of that, this phenomenon of the mud grass? Mm-hmm. Ooh. It looks like it's like flower buds or something growing out of you. Mm-hmm, Yuri. I see. Intriguing. Mukuroso. So. So did somebody go to the mountains then? Because if it's decomposing a body, then maybe they stepped on it because it's present at that time. Easy as. Well, it's not a ward, is it? Oh. Simple. Is it gonna take you to the person? Salt's interesting, considering its connection with death. That plan, I mean. It's like an exorcism or something. Whoa, okay. Are you the guy that said Yuri? Looks a little bit further on. Yeah. It's like they've sprouted and grown. Ototo? That's Yuri. Gotcha. That could mean that Yuri's alive, right? If I'm thinking about that correctly? It is. And again, you have the evidence from the past that you don't think that this is a thing. Because of Yuri. But is it most certainly a thing? That's crazy looking. Yeah. He don't get it. There is a cycle to it, for sure. As my dad likes to put it, he's just going to become worm food one day. It's a terrible way to think about it. There it is. Interesting. I thought it was just a time thing. Mystery. I wonder what. Well, you were brothers. Brothers are close. It's a lot of perspective you have on it, actually. Are we going to see that now? No, okay. I understand that. Smooth Ginkgo. Daisuke. Past tense maybe on the loved. Were you not telling all of the truth? Here we go. What the fuck? What is happening? Oh, this is him carrying... Go on. Oh. He took a little tumble off the cliff, eh? That's a crazy twist. I didn't see that coming at all. Who's my dudes Cain and Abel? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Oh no, look, he fell. I was getting vibes off him a little bit. That he was a little bit just like... What's the word? Not all there. Bit aggro. Something behind the eyes. Yeah, see? Mudboy? Yeah, sick. Now, question. Is Ginkgo gonna figure this all out? Hmm. Huh. So he had a feeling that this may happen, even, and he still confessed. I'm really unsure how this is all gonna end. Mm-hmm. The stench of death. It's just the guilt, right? If you come clean, then they'll, work the same way. I like this episode. It's more emotional than like physical. You know what I mean? And washing yourself clean physically, nah. Washing yourself clean emotionally, to our young lad here. He's figured it all out. Smart boy. Time for child murder, he says. I was joking. No, he's gonna run. No witnesses. Good. Get a big stick and hold him down. Bye-bye, murderer. Watch the rocks. They do tend to get a little bit slippy. I mean, that kid still has no dad, so... not ideal. I like how Ginkgo's like, I'm not a cop. See ya. Ah. Cool ending. I like that a lot. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's just it's a good story, everybody. I liked that one a lot. Just, like what I was talking about in the start of the video, it's this story out of time. You could basically just place it anywhere. Like, any time period, and it just works. Yeah, good twist in there. Keeps the mystery going. Even if the guy's a bit of a scumbo, I believe him. I believe that, you know, his daughter dying and him thinking that she's missing for so very long, and then hearing that news, I believe the rage there for sure. And then in the end, he couldn't come clean, you know. Despite, you know, washing himself in the river, he couldn't come emotionally clean to his nephew. And it karmically met his justice there. He got what he deserved. And in the end, didn't return to the mountain like everybody else did. He got cast aside. He's no longer with his community. He was left all alone in the afterlife as opposed to being with everybody else. Even Yuri, separated from her, based on his decisions. Just very, very smart. Well-told story in 18 minutes or so. I like Ginkgo this episode too. He doesn't overstep himself. He understands that he's just a guy with some Mushi knowledge. He's not here to be a family counselor or anything, you know. I'm here to impart the knowledge rather than tell people what to do. Next episode, Tree of Eternity. And there we have it, episode 22 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 42 seconds on this one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. Same old stuff, picture in picture. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Conversely to last episode, this one will be slightly longer. Very cool. Tree, sprout, big tree. Massive tree. What kind of trees do they have in Japan? Trees of Eternity, apparently. Daily reminder, this is the last episode before the last thing. So, Could be pretty significant. No, it's a little cherry tomato. This looks familiar. Oto-chan? Futaba. Where you been, Dad? Dead tree? Interesting. What do you do? He's working FIFO. He's mining out in Perth. Roots? Tree? Don't miss your daughter's fucking life now. Futaba. He also ate the plum, remember? Was he scratching somebody else's face? What the fuck was that? You're weird as hell. I don't really know. But I'm here to find out. So he's like some kind of builder or something. Kind of feels like, you know, like the world's oldest tree, and it's just fucking huge. You seen that guy? Oh, we know that guy too. I don't know. Look it up. That tree's cool. What? Oh. Well, that... Yeah, you're talking mad shit. That's this tree, man. It's the tree of eternity. He's becoming omnipotent? I actually know you, Ginkgo. Because I was thinking he was being legitimate there for a second, but then I'm like, wait, yeah, the ages don't match up at all. I got fooled by him. Is it your village? It's the eye. But how did you see it so far in the past when there was only like 2 houses? Whoa. Yeah, no tree there, buddy. Where'd it go, though? Because nobody chopped it down. That's really cool. Love this shot. Bro's stuck to the tree? It's like that one guy from Fallout. You know who I'm talking about. Why are you here, Ginkgo? I see. Oh yeah, he can't see it. Yeah, little cherry tomato. Satorigi. Gotcha. It's the moral of the story. Don't just eat whatever you see in the forest. Amputation. Ah. It's an interesting setup, though. Interesting. I guess my question is, how does this connect into the start of the story with an overworking husband? Okay, that fits a bit more. Okay. Making sense now. You may be forced to take up some routes here now that you can't just go wherever. Oh, he's doing the thing. We know the thing. He's like... he put it up on the Mushishi message board. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the tree. It's curious. It doesn't look like it got cut down. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, right. Well, there's the tree in all its glory. Back when Ginkgo was, with those guys. Oh, yeah, we remember Isaza, for sure. Oh, yeah, the Watari clan. I see. Kaminari. So yeah, it sprouts when it's in danger, right? Yeah, good luck. I see. Then what destroyed it? This guy's waxing lyrical about a tree. Oh, somebody's still praying. Yeah, the mom. What happened? You can tell me what happened. Specifics, please. Deforestation, true. Oh, fire. Gotcha. It's in danger. Red means danger. We can kill God. Let's go do it. Come on, my guys. Let's do it. Oh, the deeper red there too. Sick. Bit of CG there on the tree. Go on. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's the River of Light, buddy. It's a bunch of corky. Probably spurred on by the corky, right? Interesting. Plants have feelings. Oh. Yeah, I don't. Our God is magnanimous, benevolent. Then what's happening now to old mate? Because it's not recompense. There's another Mushishi I want to go ask. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's becoming tree-pilled. But you have thousands of years of stories. I know you do. Danger? Why'd Ginkgo look so ominous there? Suicidal? No, okay. What's it gonna be? I don't know. What are you doing? How long ago? I wonder what it's gonna be. Like a landslide or something? If something happens here, this guy's fucking goated. Whoa! Earthquake! What a cool ending. Hell fucking yeah. Hey. He's carrying on that tree's legacy, man. Almost like this faux deity for the town. Yeah, we would have all fucking died. Gigi. I think that's exactly what happened. But it was through Kanta. Hey, you fucking saved everybody, man. But he still lives with us. You really... You put down your roots here, man. What a heartwarming ending. All the seasons. Even before the village was there. Still here even now. Brother, I have 1,000 years of stories. Fucking hell yeah. Love this ending, man. I needed a bit of a pick-me-up. I've said it before, it's been depression central, this show. Bell Droplets. The last episode. The last episode which we will be watching next week. Please look forward to it. For now, I'm going to go cool off, because I lied, it actually is still really hot in here. And yeah, you'll see me in a second for some analysis. And we're back, 2 more Mushishi episodes in the book, the final 2 before the kind of special at the very end next week. And I think we got 2 very interesting ones. In my view, they both share a quality, and that quality is that they kind of have a aha moment in them, where you, like, get what they're going for, basically. There's a great sense of satisfaction here in this episode upon finding out about this. That a murder took place. Things presented earlier in the narrative weren't exactly what they seemed. And yeah, it kind of made everything click into place. Similarly, the following episode was right at the very end is when I kind of understood what the episode was going for completely. Where again, Kanta, I believe his name was in that episode, he finds purpose within his new role, basically. He kind of supersedes the role of that tree in being almost this like guarding deity for the town, for the village, as the tree had for so very long. He uses the predictive capabilities of this particular Mushi to, again, predict an earthquake and, you know, prevent death and destruction and stuff. It mirrors the same way that earlier, when, you know, the tree was cut down, kind of wanted to be cut down and wanted to be used, kind of reinterprets and flips the way that you saw that danger signal, that red flower. Just, yeah, both have moments where I'm like, yep, got it. As a result, I think the first half of both episodes probably suffers a little bit on a rewatch. You're just kind of like, yeah, can't just wait until you get to the thing, the point here. But again, setup is necessary for that point to hit. Just what I'm meaning to say is that I think a large portion of the conversation will take place, you know, with this reveal in mind going back through the start. Like, that'll be the structure here for both episodes, in my view, and analyzing them. Like, hey, what was this? Could you see signs of this earlier on in the narrative? What was leading to it? But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed both. I thought they were quite swell. Again, continuing the hot streak that we have here in the second half of season 2. It's been damn good. It's been very, very good. Peeling back the curtain a little bit, probably... It's sometimes with Mushishi I struggle a little bit. It's always at the end of the week. It's always this thing, and the episodes are pretty similar. If they're playing in similar spots, it's almost like, like Friday at work where you kind of just like, whatever, it'll do. We're done. I'm getting out of here. Sometimes I'm a little bit guilty of doing that and not spending the time with them and the focus, I guess. But yeah, the second half of season 2 has well, not redeemed the show in my eyes, but it's certainly raised my opinion of it. I think it's quite good. I'm very happy that it won the poll and got recommended, and I was able to watch it with people. Either way, let's jump into some analysis here with episode 21. We start on a cliff. This cliff is actually crucially important. I don't know why my computer's loading. Anyway, crucially important is this mountain, as it will be at first you think it's the spot where the brother died. It is the spot where the brother's body was dumped upon the reveal, as well as the obvious take very early, which is that the mountain, people return to the mountain. We give our life force and our dead over to the mountain so it can consume it. It builds into the tradition of the town. It's a huge part of their culture. It literally overhangs their view in this village. It's very, very important. There's something about it that's also just ominous and maybe gets into your head early that this episode may not be as happy-go-lucky as some other ones, right? Like, this just looks like death a little bit. Even I know I'm analyzing one frame probably too much, but anyway, kind of this kind of, raise here versus this peak here, it kind of looks like two brothers. A little bit separated, a little bit foggy. Not all is clear here at this point. Secrets. Lots of good stuff. Love analyzing the first shot of some episodes sometimes, man. You see a lot. We then see a man bellowing as loud as possible. Yuri! Shouting out for his daughter. She's gone missing. She hasn't been seen. When they check the mountain, they see that she must have died and been consumed by the mountain because her clothes are just kind of laid out there, basically. Like, that's what happens in this town. We put our dead on the mountain and they return to the earth. They become that kind of mud. This is where I want to pause and talk about a couple of voice performances. I feel like the bellowing and then the like intensity of this screams for the daughter is important for characterization. You literally murder your brother because you lost her. So we have to sell right here, right now, your desperation and your want to see her again for that decision to logically make sense. Needs to be this dramatic is my point, for sure, for sure. And I'll skip ahead slightly here. There's this older gentleman right there. I feel like his voice performance is quite incredible as well. Just like really, really credibly sounds like an old man, sounds like a rural, traditional, like spiritual old man, raspy in all the right spots, tells the story in the right way. Just once again, fabulously casted, perfect voice for this small bit part. I don't know if anybody has any extra knowledge here. How is Mushishi doing its casting? Because again, that guy sounds like an old bloke, and we have the kids that sound like fucking kids. This is just such a unique thing for me when it comes to anime. Like, normally you just get whoever you can. This one, it feels like they really went out of their way to actually cast for the role. All the voice actors here are just really talented. I don't know. It's one of the two. There we have it. The remains of Yuri. Just her, Yukata, and the sandals left. Skipping ahead. This is her uncle, his brother, that accidentally ran over her with a wagon? I think that's what happened. Either way, he accidentally killed her and then took her up to the mountain, not to cover it up, but also to kind of cover it up. And then, yeah, that guilt is eating away at him, obviously, comes clean to the brother. The brother then kills him and hides the body similarly on that mountain. For me, the difference here is intent. 100%. He didn't mean to kill Yuri. It was a accident. The big brother there, he was out for murder. He wanted to kill. Episode proper starts now. We have Ginkgo looking at all these people's legs going, hey, that's not quite right. Let's, what's the go? What's the deal with these wart type things that look like little plant sproutings? This is where the episode gets a little bit confusing, so you kind of got to be paying attention. The death that happened wasn't the death of Yuri. The death that happened was the death of the uncle of Yuri. Right, the brother to the guy. So when the villagers here are talking about somebody being up in the mountains after somebody had died, it isn't these people up in the mountains after somebody has died, you know. The way we build this up is very cool. There's a custom in the village where you put your bodies out and they get taken by the mountain over the course of 7 days. As that happens, you are not to go up there to the mountain because you will bring death down with you. This is a tradition in the town. This is a ritualistic thing. Somebody has obviously committed a taboo and been up there in the meantime. Thus, he brought it back down to the town. It started sprouting up. People can't see the mushi. They step on it. They get infected. Pretty simple stuff. I like how it's evolved into, again, like folklore in the town of like, don't go up there. But there's a logical reason to it, like Ginkgo can explain why this is occurring. Also love that from the perspective of Yuri's father. Again, he's been up there when somebody's died. He disrespects the traditions because of that. Again, it's really this thing that alienates him from the rest of this culture that's built up in the town, which again, he will be cast aside in the last frame of the episode. He won't be up there with them. Probably on some level due to that disrespect. Ginkgo then gets to explaining the mukuraso, which is the mushi here in this episode. It's a mushi that decomposes corpses and turns them into mud down to the bone. Now to me this just feels like the mushi equivalent of, you know, microbes in the air and whatever else that do decay things, that break things down. There's a reason the corpses don't preserve, and yeah, it's due to bugs and all sorts of other stuff like that, but it's also due to something that's unable to be seen by our eye. I like that we have our equivalent here. That feels very, you know, the show's all about the kind of circle of life and the kind of cycle of energy there and all this kind of stuff. It feels very much at home here. But for most of the villagers here, it's an easy fix. Ginkgo has seen this Bukuraso before. He knows the cure. He gets it on his little paintbrush, he paints on all the warts, and they instantly fall off. This is to create contrast for late in the episode when, you know, his won't fall off. What is the difference tangibly between the rest of the villagers here and him? And I like that we get very emotional with it. It isn't as logical as this seems. There is like a spirituality to it almost, and like, is your soul clean as a concept? Another thing that just makes sense in this episode, Mushishi's really, really good at this as a show, just things fitting and making sense, sprinkling a little bit of salt on these plants. Like, for me, this works on 2 levels. Obviously, if you don't want something to grow back somewhere, you salt the earth. So that talks to the plant side. If I don't want this plant growing here anymore, a little bit of salt, that'll stop it ever growing again, basically. Like, that just fits from a gardening perspective almost. What I also like is salt involved in like occult processes and that kind of thing, right? This thing's associated with death. That transition point between what is a corpse and what they come after that point, it's very, you know, spiritual, occult in nature. It feels like doing like a salt circle or something. Like, that's the kind of vibe it gives as well. Something relatively simple that Ginkgo can do to stop both kind of aspects of this mushi. Plot gets moving here when we have the nephew bringing Ginkgo in to have a look at the legs of the uncle. As we can see here, they're going fucking crazy. They're hella furry. Got all the plants sprouting out of them. Ginkgo is right in his assumption here that he is basically patient 0. He's the one that brought it to the town. Now, I thought that was the beginning and the end of it. I thought that it had grown the most. It had taken a hold of him the most because he was the first one to bring it. That wasn't the case. It goes a little bit deeper, and you need that kind of mid-episode revelation to fully understand. I like the skepticism from this guy, and not thinking that curse of the mountain and bringing down, you know, that particular mushi and that kind of pestilence, as we say. I like that he doesn't think that's real because of Yuri, right? We were up there on the mountain 4 days after Yuri was missing, and we just saw, you know, no clothes, no nothing. Nobody brought back any kind of stuff there. It must just be an old wives' tale, right? It's not something we should be concerned about in the here and now. So obviously, when his father dies, my brother, let's go up and have a look and say our final goodbyes, because, you know, we don't think that this thing's real. We don't think it's legitimate. However, this is also the start of the disrespect of the town's traditions, something that will ultimately get you some karmic justice by the very end. I think this episode has 2 major perspectives. I like looking at it more from the emotional, right? What is it about this trip up to the mountains as well, to see his deceased younger brother, that causes it to grow so much? maybe upon confirming and seeing that corpse and seeing it in such a state is the thing that really starts to make that guilt grow. That really hammers in this thing that I have done, this murder that I committed. And yeah, that's what spurs the Mushi on. You know, I think that's a really cool interpretation for sure. This scene here is kind of brutal too, man, when he's like, what is this like grass stuff growing on my dad, you know, and him like pulling it away. Full reinterpretation now that we know who did it, we know who killed him. Like, you didn't want to hurt the kid. Seeing that guilt, seeing the thing that I did and the result on his son right in front of me is really the thing that makes this thing like take root and stuff, you know. But yeah, it really tugs at the heartstrings too. Like this is a kid coming face to face with death and processing it. Without the Mushi layer here, he is seeing his father's like corpse well into days of decomposition, right? Like that's, it's gonna fucking hit you, man. Just a small moment here too. I love this tender touch that he has on this part of the weed. Like, again, this is the last life essence of my father almost that I'm just like kind of like clinging on to. It's the same feeling around him not wanting to get rid of that that Mushi that's infected him, the Mukuraso, because it's that last connection to dad as well. I'd feel like I'd be casting him aside. The same way that the uncle here cannot become clean, the son here doesn't want to become clean. Like, that's a really cool distinction, too. Albeit this guy is scum. I feel like he's scum that has some believable qualities to him, I guess. Like again, I've said it before, that investment in Yuri, the love that he has for his daughter, being the thing that kind of motivates the murder, that's very human. I can understand that, for sure. And then seeing this scene in front of him with his nephew, right? Him devastated at the loss of his father, that I also did, makes him feel kind of guilty. He sees the kid and offers to, you know, take him in, basically. I'm going to be your new dad now. Like, he didn't need to do that, is my point. So there must be some conscience still in there, right? Like, you must have some ethical ability to you, ethical layer. Maybe. Coincidentally, that is also the exact same moment that he steps in the mud and gets infected. So when he kind of agrees to be the child's new father, like that's when it really, really takes root. And Ginkgo's confused. He's confuddled. He's like, okay, I've had plenty of cases of this Mukuraso before. It's the concept of death. It's kind of everywhere, right? I've seen it a lot. So there have been others that have, like, you know, stepped on bodies specifically that had turned into mud, like decomposing bodies, and had this thing. And probably had it even this bad, like they grown to this level. The medicines should still work. The medicine that I made that kind of destroyed the little buds. That kind of gets Ginkgo on the case. He needs to think about what is different in this particular scenario relative to every other one. And Super Sleuth Ginkgo figures it out relatively quickly. He's like, okay, how did he die again? Fell off a cliff. The brothers, they were close, and then suddenly weren't close, and then suddenly one of them died. I don't know. Smart guy, Ginkgo. A little bit of a detective. Now, this here is the moment of the lie. It's understandable, right? We tell Sosuke, the son here, to go outside, because I'm going to discuss how your father died. But in reality, he wants to be the one that kind of controls information here, and the one that gives Ginkgo the initial take. I really like the direction in this view as well. His eyes aren't visible. We're really far away from the conversation. It kind of feels like it's a falsehood. Like I don't know how to quite describe it, but it doesn't feel as, you know when somebody's like looking at the camera or like really straight on and their eyes are really honest, they're not shifty all around the place. You can like be pretty sure that they're telling the truth. This just feels like the opposite. Even Ginkgo's body language here, it almost feels like he doesn't trust it as well. Okay, the rewatch here has been super rewarding as well. There's a really funny line here right at the very end. He says, "I took the death very hard." Now, again, that's not something that you say. That's something that somebody with some perspective on the outside of the situation can say. If it really, really hit you hard, and it happened, what, a week ago? Something like that? Then you'd be visibly devastated still. You wouldn't be looking like this. You wouldn't be able to step back and say that you took it hard. That's not very human. It feels like a convenient alibi because that's exactly what it is. I took it hard. No, you didn't. People that actually did wouldn't say that. Really, really, really loved the lighting in this next scene here where Ginkgo goes and talks with Sasuke. Just the afternoon sun, it feels like a really natural conversation between the two. This setting of the river will also come back when the father is trying to wash himself clean, or the uncle is trying to wash himself clean during the episode's climax. It just sets up a lot of things early here. Very, very well done. This is where we also make the discovery that Sasuke isn't going to use the medicine, at least not initially. Again, that choice to not want to wash himself clean very quickly of the father's death. This probably also sows doubt into Ginkgo's mind, right? Why is the guy, the brother, that's, purportedly really close with his other brother, right, his younger brother, why does he want to wash it all off so bad? Why does he want to get rid of it? Why doesn't he have a similar emotional reaction to his other family member here that wants to at least think about it a little bit more? It's probably what prompts Ginkgo to pry here, where he finds out that, again, they had a pretty close relationship up until a certain point. This gets the audience's head all working around when, again, this is the point of that revelation at the episode's kind of midpoint. We've done this before as a show, Mushishi and the doorstep and the kind of metaphor of the shoes and a set of shoes being missing, like kind of going from this solitary shot of him inside to the shoes on the porch there, if I can get them back again, is again, it elicits that same feeling of loneliness, melancholy and nostalgia of the afternoon sun as well. Just all those same concepts kind of gets him thinking back on what he did and during that time. The weather's also that connective tissue too, because again, we go here, it's afternoon when we're making that confession. This is where we really get saucy in the episode too. I love the editing here, kind of going from Nissan, I want to talk to you, right, over this way, to like bushes late at night, thorny, like this is like scary, disconcerting. We see the intense eyes of the older brother here. Like, it's a great build and reveal here, man. It's all in the edit. It's all in the music too, and the sound, like the cutting of those cicadas in the afternoon to the silence in the dead of night. Like, it's fucking brilliant, man. I don't want to undersell the religious stuff here too. Like, this Cain and Abel, right? He fucking smashes his brother, his head in with a rock. Like, they had to be at least thinking about that a little bit, right? And again, much like that story, it speaks to a universality of the darkness of man, that we can kill our brother, we can kill our own family, kind of straight out of that Garden of Eden, straight out of that paradise into that happening in the very next time, bringing in this violence, destruction, death into the world. We have many facets, and this is one of them, Maybe I just need to look up, how a horse and cart works or something, or an ox and cart. I don't really know what they're doing out here, man. But, how do you reverse over somebody? How do you crush her under the cart? What happened? Did she just run out in front of it and get fucking hit? Is somebody getting hit with, a four-wheel drive, like these days? I don't know, I guess if there's enough force there, it's going fast enough, it would probably kill you. I don't know, it feels like a very modern death to me. I don't know, I was backing out of the driveway and I ran over your toddler. That's what it feels like. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit crass about the whole thing, but it took me out of it a little bit. Either way, in the narrative, right, this is guilt that has been eating away at this character, the brother here, Shinobu, for so very long, to the point where it resulted in a confession. It resulted in him coming clean to somebody else and not wanting to keep that secret of what he did hidden. This will be immediately contrasted with his older brother, who in the very end chooses not to be honest and reveal his secret as it pertains to, the boy's father. But at that same point, man, I get it. I kind of get it. I don't know. It's very easy to waggle the finger and say, don't murder, murder's bad, blah, blah, blah. But you kept my daughter's death hidden for years because you were guilty about it? You were responsible? You didn't come clean to me? There's a real kind of spur of the moment to the lashing out as well. He just kind of grabbed the rock and just did it. There's a particular line towards the end of the episode as well, which is even if I didn't do it at that point, I probably would have felt angry enough later on after that point to at least still do it, right? It was that it happened now or later. As soon as he said that stuff, he wasn't anything to me anymore, Just goes to show the intensity of said anger. Well, this is another great point too. Shinobu here feels extra guilty upon having a child of his own. I love him so very much, more than anything else, right? So if you loved her the same way that I love my boy, then I've taken that from you, and I'm being kind of silent about it. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, I now know that I am a parent how much this would kill you. I don't know, again, he does the right thing. Even though he made a mistake, and it was a terrible mistake, awful mistake, it killed somebody. He's come clean, he's confessed, he's trying to make things right, gets punished for it, gets his just desserts, and still returns to that mountain. In the afterlife, he will still be with all his family. In the afterlife as well, he could probably see Yuri and apologize and be like, sorry about that. This is not the same luxury that is afforded the older brother by the very end, you know? There's a real sense of karma to the episode that I really, really want to continue to get across. It's one of its strongest aspects. And then, yeah, man, we see that rock swing down. He gets bonked in the head and tossed off the cliff. He takes a little tumble. And yeah, as I said earlier, his callousness towards death, and the death of his brother specifically, and going back up and seeing his corpse, like, none of that should shock anymore. It's not the first time that he's seen his brother's corpse. It's not a surprise to him. Yeah, it's just set up and payoff, you know. We have this sequence here too, which I think is quite excellent. So he's now having a nightmare in the wake of what happened. We see the kind of Shinobu brother character kind of reanimated using that mud. His hand is dripping, much like the mud would be dripping, but in the same way that the blood was dripping down the hand after the rock hit him, as we saw earlier. Him just apologizing over and over again, and that guilt manifesting, right? He's that same mud-like stuff that was sprouting the grass. This guilt literally eating away at you, like coming to control you, right? It's given this form during this nightmare. This is like metaphorical, spiritual kind of demonstration of why it continues to grow. Now, I do think we get a little bit cumbersome here. So what we need to get to is the scene at the very end whereby Sosuke knows what his uncle did. So we kind of need this dream sequence here where Shinobu, his father, kind of alludes to something, that I may have done something that's bad, and if I just randomly end up dead at some point, there's probably a reason as to why. I do like the framing though. I like that the mountains in the background, and you know, I like how caring and personal it is, like the first person angle here chosen. I just feel like the plot is a little bit too like there's not enough hiding it. It's like, okay, we needed to get to here, XYZ needs to happen, here's X, here's Y, here's Z. Where again, other shows are a little bit better at obfuscating that kind of stuff. Feels a little bit 11th hour too. I wonder if an editing change could have helped this, like put this little dream sequence around here in the episode before the reveal, kind of alluding to it a little bit more. Like, I did something bad, I might end up dead one day. Here's a heads up. Like, that creates mystery still before the reveal. Once again, very nitpicky, but I don't know. Show's very good. You need to talk about some nitpicky stuff sometimes. The same shot of the porch again. Now we have Ginko's shoes out here. Here's another one visiting. There's more than one person here during the shot that we'll see right after, right near this door. Once again, a man out of time, right? He has like leather fucking shoes. Like, what? It's a really, really cool detail to the show. I'm going to keep bringing it up. This is the next step on Sosuke discovering as well. This is one of Mushishi's favorite tropes as well. Somebody eavesdropping, somebody overhearing something, and then that causing, you know, conflict. Basically, Ginko here insinuates that you still have the scent of death on you. That's why it continues to grow in the same way that it will grow on a corpse. This talks to something universal as well, like you, upon killing another, committing murder, you've lost your humanity. Like, you may as well be dead inside after committing such a sin. But I choose to see it a little bit more, what's the word? Like, perspective-based, like personable. Like, you see yourself as somebody that is dead. You don't think of yourself as an actual human anymore. This is the manifestation and the growth of that guilt that you have on you for what you did. Like, I feel like it's a lot more to his personal view of it. And yeah, I mentioned this in the reaction too, but Ginko's kind of based here. He's like, I have no intention of pursuing this inquiry any further than I have to. I'm not a cop. I'm not a detective. I'm just saying there's a reason behind that happening to you. And all I can do is give you the advice and tell you how to cure the thing, to get rid of the Mushi. I'm a Mushishi after all, you know? You must cleanse yourself so that no scent of death remains on your body. You must come clean. You must confess your sin if you want these things to go away. No physical bathing in the river. No, like, that's not going to work. It's spiritual. That's that good shit in the episode, man. Like, this here, man, that ain't going to do it. That ain't going to do it. It's a little bit more metaphorical than that. He didn't say, get the scent of death off you. He said, get it off your conscience. And Sasuke here presents the perfect opportunity to do so, which he does not do. This is what the uncle does. This is the final nail in the coffin, so to say. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't claim any guilt in the matter. If anything, it's heavily implied that he's going to fucking silence Sasuke for good, so that he can't tell anybody else and the secret can't get out. For if it got out, he would be separated from the society, the village, right? The community that he's built, you know? Isn't it ironic that upon death, he is separated from that community all the same? His worst fears were confirmed. Like, that's a crazy good ending, man. Specifically, our boy Sasuke here. He's a good egg. Dad told me not to hate anybody if they do something upon my death, right? He told me not to hold those same grudges. Sasuke is the bigger man here. That's why he gets away. It's again, it almost feels like the mountain's got his back. It's like judging this conflict and is like, what if we just kind of made him slip here? Like, that's almost the level we're on right now. And yeah, I forgot this part of the justification as well. So I felt such rage upon learning that reveal, right? That I thought that there's no other way that another human, upon hearing a similar reveal, you know, a murder committed of a very close family member, could ever not, like, feel that rage. Like, even if you say that you're okay with it now, I've gone through the same thing that you're going through, and I knew that I couldn't control it. So if I leave you alive, you're going to end up killing me. You're going to end up perpetuating the cycle and committing that same murder. So the only way to solve this is to murder you in the here and now. That'll stop my guilt. It's almost arrogance. You can't believe that there's a person, upon, you know, hearing that somebody murdered one of their loved ones, that couldn't forgive. You almost can't fathom that, and that's the reason why you go through with this. Once again, it feels very Christian, no? Like, I know a lot of religions have similar, you know, value systems, but like forgiveness above all, and like the 10 Commandments, and a lot of this stuff is like coming into this a little bit. Like, I don't know, he doesn't have the correct ethical system here, and that's why it results in his death. You could argue there's a choice here of Sasuke to not help his uncle. I'd choose to not see that. I think that's a kind of a lame way to go about it. And then, yeah, I've kind of talked about the very end already, where again, Ginkgo finds that body and goes, well, I told you to do the thing, to get rid of the scent of death, that guilt that you have to confess, and you did it. And now look at where you are. You're not on that mountain at all. You're completely separate. You went down the river a little bit further, and you died in the middle of nowhere with nobody, on a little island in the middle of a river. Like, I don't know. Sucks to be you, I guess. No afterlife. And yeah, a very good episode, if you couldn't already tell. I really, really loved it on the rewatch again. Next episode here is the Tree of Eternity. We start on a bit of a time lapse of the tree growing from, you know, a very small sapling into the large cedar tree that we see in the rest of the episode. It truly was one of the trees of eternity of all time, because it even lives on now, even after its death. After that kind of corky pours out, it still connects to a guy. Like, that's really fun. I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It keeps on living, even if you don't think it keeps on living. Isn't that Mushishi in a nutshell? And this is kind of that, like, critical point of the narrative that seems very unassuming at the start. There's a small plum here growing. Just on that same mountain close to the village, the man ingests it without a second thought. This will be the thing that drags him into a whole new part in his life. This kind of gets into a deeper conversation of what the episode is advocating for. So, you know, he comes back to the village. He's spent a long time away working, getting money, getting experience, all this other kind of stuff. Leaves his wife and a young daughter kind of here with the rest of the community, and isn't an active presence within her life. The wife wishes that he was more of a homebody, got a job a little bit closer by, and could be a part of his daughter's life. Kanta here, the husband, doesn't want that. He would rather spend his days adventuring and wandering around. He wants to see all parts of the world, basically. This is what kind of leads him into that cycle of depression, kind of after the episode's midpoint, when we learn all that stuff, right? Like, hey, I've got this shit on my legs. I can't do that literal anymore. I'm, like, disabled. That sucks. My one thing that made my life light up is gone. But in good Mushishi fashion, he finds a new thing that lights up his life. He finds a new purpose as this kind of faux deity, spiritual tree of eternity type person for the village, as well as allowing him to stay put and be a part of his daughter's life and tell her various stories over the course of the tree's lifespan as opposed to his own. Which, let's be honest, probably the stories are more numerous. Like, you end up having more to tell her and stuff. I don't know, that's the episode in a nutshell. That's what makes it really cool. Kanta's character arc of finding purpose upon feeling purposelessness, I guess. It's great. It's fantastic. And yeah, initially I was like, okay, I find this story about Kanta compelling. I find the story about the Tree of Eternity compelling. How do they link together? It's this line, right? I'll put down roots when I get a little older. Isn't that just perfect? Like the Tree of Eternity is like the oldest thing around. It's been here for thousands of years. When I get a little older, when I become part tree, when I literally have thousands of years of memories, that's when I'll put my roots down. And roots too? Come on, you guys get it. I don't know. I found both halves incongruous until, again, that clicking point, that aha. I know what they're going for now. Once again, love when we get these montages in these episodes of just nature being nature. I really like the quickfire nature of this one and kind of the constant cuts back to the tree as well. Like tree, bird, tree, kind of whatever that is. Tree, lizard. Like that's just... It's perfectly encompassing what is happening to him at this time. It's cryptic enough. It allows for interpretation. Brilliantly done. Another thing I really love is this red glow of the eye. Whenever that happens, it's like the tree's taking more control and giving him more and more stuff because of that red plum. Now, this is a great kind of switch up in the episode too. We're taught that the red means danger. We're taught that the red means that, something bad is going to happen and, we're putting out the warning sign. But that red was the same red that was the plum that initially got ingested, that was all of the tree's memories. That red is the same red that sprouts on his legs and alerts the village that there's going to be an earthquake. We kind of misinterpreted what we meant by the red. The red doesn't mean bad for the tree per se, danger for the tree. It means danger in general. And we kind of need to take that into the last little bit, because it is looking over the village. It cares deeply for it. Okay, I understand this part now too. Let's go back slightly. This isn't his hand. That's not his hand, that's the other guy's hand. It looks like he's reaching up and scratching another bloke on the ear, which is odd, but that's not what's happening. So, cleared up. Fine, that's fine. During Kanta's travels here, he continues to dream more and more about a giant cedar tree. He asks for clues about, the tree from people that would know, that have been around for a long time. Nope, haven't heard anything about it. It's because of this 15-year gap, basically, that it's escaped his memory. He was a young lad when we first had to chop it down. He needs to find an answer to this query closer to home, There's a really fun interaction here which brings Ginkgo into the narrative. Basically, Kanta says, I fucking know you. I've seen a kid with white hair that has one eye before. It was a very long time ago when you were just a boy, about 10 years old. I saw you go up there with an old man. And then Ginkgo's like, what fucking kind of scam are you trying to pull here, man? Like, you didn't know me when I was 10. And if you did, you would have been 10 as well. We're like the same age. Well, your story doesn't make any sense. But he's so genuine about it too. That's what adds to the confusion. It's like, what is going on? Oh yeah, here's the part. That old man that you were with, which is part of the Watari tribe, clan people that early in the show, you guys know. I knew him since he was a young boy. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. Even if you are telling the truth, because I do remember traveling when I was a boy with another boy my age and an old man. You can't have known that old man since he was a boy. Like, what are you talking about? Once again, these two episodes, in my view, they're linked by this sense of mystery before the reveal. This is the great kind of build-up of the mystery. It's that same stuff that was present previous episode as well. Like, even after that conversation with Ginkgo, these dreams persist. they kind of grow a little bit more vivid as, you know, more and more memories take hold. I see people chopping down trees and building a village, and a couple of houses, then more houses, then more houses, and then wait, this village looks very similar to the village that we saw in a kind of opening shot early in the episode. It's like, oh, that is our village. And seeing all this stuff through the eyes of the tree's memories demonstrates the village's importance. The tree cares deeply if it's going to maintain all these memories of these people, you know, living nearby and living off the land. It's watching over us, literally, like it has been. We could see it through his eyes. And from a logical perspective, Kanta here just wants to see the tree that's been invading his dreams. He's like, just seeing where it was will be enough. That should surely satisfy things and get me to stop thinking about it so I can continue on and be my own person. Again, it inadvertently brought him back home. Is anything to that? Said it during the reaction as well, but love the framing and the silence of this scene, just as he's kind of overwhelmed and overtaken by this desire to go over to the stump of the great tree and put his hand on it. In essence, this is the tree meeting back up with itself. This is the tree seeing where it used to be, almost seeing its own corpse and trying to reconcile with that. It's a way deeper moment than it seems right here at this juncture. What we need to understand here is that this is some Mushi shit. So he can't see it. He doesn't see himself literally turning into bark and connecting into the tree. He just feels like his feet can't come up any further. That's why later on he says his legs feel like wood, not that they look like wood. He's not perceiving this. I don't know, he's just kind of taken by this desire overwhelmingly to just sit by it to the point where he starts to absorb into it again. That's just really cool. Either way, Ginkgo saves the day. If Ginkgo didn't think about that weird encounter that he had with that guy before and kind of followed him for a bit. Wait, yeah, how did he find him? That's a little weird. Yeah, maybe he remembered where he was when he was 10 near the tree or something. I don't know, sure. Anyway, Ginkgo saves the day. We cut him from the tree. And hey, this sounds like something I've heard before. Ginkgo starts explaining the Satorigi, right? The enlightened tree mushi that has infected you due to the small plum that you have eaten. I really like Kanta's disposition here as well. He's very much like, okay, get to the point. I need to know how I can fix this thing, so I can get back out on the road and follow my passion, basically, to walk the world and learn all these new different things. I don't know, I feel like that speaks volumes about his depression later on in the episode. Once again, I really like the ecology of this Mushi as well. It's been a really strong point through this kind of last stretch of the show, I think. Just really, I feel like I say that every week. So we're going to create like a small fucking plum that an animal is supposed to eat. And then what do animals do generally? They'll rub up against a tree or perch on it or something. You'll start to stick to it. You'll then become just part of the tree and part of the bark. I will have successfully moved on to a new tree, if you know what I mean, right? It's just rarely that this happens in humans. Like, it happened way more often with birds and animals and stuff. So again, that would make sense. I'm now in a new tree. I can get a whole new set of memories and perspectives and stuff whilst maintaining my old ones. Ginkgo also drops the news here that in all our research, this is incurable. We do not know how to get rid of this unless you become a tree, basically. So you're going to be stuck at the same level where you're at. Your legs are going to be wood, and you're not going to be able to go anywhere. We try to bargain early here, does Kanta as well. What if I put myself in danger, and then that'll get the plum to grow, and then I can give it to something? It's like, no, it's not. The Satorigi is very smart when it comes to understanding danger. That's something we establish here too, that does come back. Man, this Kanta characterization is really, really damn strong. Like, he has a loving family around him right now, and he's in this home, and even his mother is like, I'm just happy that you're alive, I'm happy that you're here, but he's still like, no, I refuse to live beholden to anyone. He has been given this duty almost, as this new deity, and he is outright refusing. I would rather be free, like the bird from this metaphor back here, right, rather than be kind of stuck in one spot, rather than being this thing that is fused with the tree and become integrally important to the village overall. I just refuse. I refuse, basically. However, Ginkgo, true to his word, you know, just messages everybody. He's like, hey, got any thoughts on a cure? Any of my Mushishi friends? Just nice world building stuff. We know about the cocoons and whatnot. I like that He still uses them, makes the world feel all very contiguous and whole and stuff. But Ginkgo back in this village many years later does get him feeling all nostalgic. He looks up to the mountain and sees that that tree actually did come down, and dreams about the wise old man and his words about said tree and how important it is. And again, if I'm like, old man talking about tree, that doesn't sound like the most interesting thing in the world. I like that Isaza here is just kind of bored. He's like, I'm tired, I don't want to hear about a tree. Come on, Grandpa. But yeah, no, old man he's good at the lore drop. This tree, it's very famous. It's had the Satorigi for a very long time. Look how fucking big it is. Big trees are just cool too. But more pertinently, look at these red flowers, right? These will sprout at many times throughout history when danger is imminent. This tree's first bloom occurred nearly 550 years ago, shortly after a major earthquake struck the region. It's very, very good at predicting said things. Second bloom 170 years ago, not long before it was struck by lightning and split nearly in two. So it's easy to look at these two scenarios right now, the earthquake that almost brought the tree down and the lightning that basically only affected that one tree, and think that its warning system is mostly about itself. You have to think a little bit bigger. I feel like the warning system, the tree is almost a mountain guardian, is almost my view. Like, hey, I'm gonna become red and have all these different things on me when something is going to affect my, like, zone and all the things that I care about that I constantly see and gain memories of in my zone. So that earthquake affected my zone, the lightning affected my zone, and the fire that spread through a little bit later in the episode here also did. You know who's also in my zone? The villagers. It's this, like, we think we understand the Mushi, but we don't kind of idea that I really love here. This is crucial too now that I think about it. People from the nearby village did everything they could to help the tree heal. So the tree in turn, what was this, 170 years ago, like 155 years later, when the village looks like it's on its last legs, it's going to do everything in its power to help them heal. You know, it's reciprocal. The tree gained deity type status as well. You know, villagers show up. What are villagers going to do? Cut down some trees, try to start up some businesses. We love capitalism, folks, as well as just for their houses and stuff. Now, what did we notice? The tree didn't go red when the villagers first showed up, right? It didn't see the villagers themselves as a danger. It just saw them as another facet of life. And even when they started doing foresting stuff, as long as they weren't going crazy with it, they weren't going to be a danger. However, the tree itself still self-preserves, basically. When they did try to cut down this big tree, because fucking look at it, it's going to be good for, you know, wood, and it's a good tree, cut it down, basically. The tree has the ability here to not let you do that. So, this informs later in the episode when it lets them do that. That's just, it's great writing, right? Like, it's something we establish here during the story that Ginkgo remembers that comes back to justifying the tree's true motivations and what it means to be this kind of Satorigi deity type thing. And of course, what is the overall point of the Watari tribe people? It's all about the Komiaku. It's all about that river of light. That's what we theorize as well. It's why we're here, basically. This tree is exactly on it. Trees that have long lived in the past can develop special powers. Corky's just that fucking cool. Once again, makes perfect sense when we cut down the tree later on and it starts fucking leaking Corky everywhere. It's what it's been drawing its energy from. The last thing we end that conversation on as well is the old man of the Watari tribe kind of lamenting the fact that the worship of the tree has dipped a little bit in recent times. That informs what happens when they all kind of decide to chop it down. It's less revered and kind of venerated than it was in the past. However, some still hold the tradition, as we see here. And yeah, this has been the mystery of the episode. I love that Ginkgo asks this question. Hey, person that's been in the village for probably their whole life, how did the tree get reduced to this? Because I remember when I wasn't that much, you know, younger, like it was big and strong and stuff. What gives? Now, do you want me to get my super sleuth on? I was 10 years old when I last saw this tree. Now it's been reduced to this. You say that it was reduced to this 15 years ago and Kanta was a child. I thought Kanta and you looked about the same age. Fucking Ginkgo's old as hell. Yo. He must be like 40. Right? That's the only way the math is mathing there. Again, time is weird in Mushishi, shut up. And yeah, I mean, you guys saw the episode. There was a bushfire, it rolled through, it destroyed a lot of the trees, a lot of the villagers' economy was coming from the lumber industry. We won't be able to feed everybody and stay in this location anymore if we lose this, basically. We've got a big contract from these one people that want the big tray. We're gonna have to cut it down. It's our last resort, basically. Like, here it's being framed as all very sinister and negative and stuff, that we cut down the big tree. But in reality, the big tree wanted you to cut it down. It wanted to help you guys in your time of need. The same way that you did for it, right? It wanted to reciprocate. I do think that's a really, really cool twist on what is a normally pretty rote environmentalism plot, that tree deforestation is bad. It's like, yeah, I know it's bad. You don't need to tell me that. I think giving the tree almost a personality, right? At least a little bit. And like a care for the community is a bit more interesting. It's a little less, it gives a bit more agency to the environment, almost. Like, it's a little less obvious. It also subverts previous Mushishi episodes as well. We've often seen a mob go off and do something that we wouldn't recommend as Ginkgo in their time of need. Like, go off and chop something down or whatever. I'm specifically thinking of that episode with the specific weed that you're not supposed to set on fire or whatever. I believe that episode was in season 1. We framed the mob going off and doing what that woman said in that episode as a bad thing. Here, it's exactly what it wants. It's a very different episode in that regard. Fire used in both episodes too. In this one, it's that danger. In that one, it's our solution. They're two interesting episodes to contrast. As they go up to the tree, it has all these red flowers on it. Now again, we're brought in the episode to thinking that this means danger. But it's not danger in the same way we think it's danger. It's danger for the wider community. It's danger for the rest of the ecosystem of the mountain. It's not thinking about itself here, it's thinking about others. The red of its flowers is almost a thing that unites it with us. It's the same kind of red that it goes through all of us all the time, as like blood. It's almost like, hey, we are one in the same, in a way. We're on that same level through this redness. And once again, also knowing the power of cork here. It flows out here, it erupts onto the rest of the mountain and helps lift the rest of the everything up, right? It's going to help the trees grow back, which is going to help you guys in your lumber industry. You're going to recover from this disaster that wasn't any of your fault. So yeah, shoutouts to Tree Bro, basically. He's fucking cool. An interesting line here as well is that Kanta himself, who was a young boy at the time, was only able to grow up to be big and strong because of this tree. If it didn't get cut down and didn't change everything with the corky and whatnot, we wouldn't be here right now and we could be on the street. You know, he wouldn't be living the life that he's living. In that way, once again, it feels very cyclical. It's like, okay, we did the tree a solid, awesome. Tree does us a solid, spreads all the corky around, right? Now we need to do the tree a solid as well after we ingest that plum. We need to stay put and continue on its legacy. And just that symbiosis between both the tree and the village is really interesting to uncover. Now, this reveal here feels very similar to episode 20, the one with the lightning boy. It's basically Ginkgo coming in here, seeing all the information that he has and going, hey, let me offer a different perspective. You may see this all as very negative, that we chopped down this tree and we did this great taboo, this sin by taking down this deity like this. But what if it wanted you to do that? It had the power to repel axes, but chose not to do it at that time. What is that supposed to mean? And Ginkgo says that's just a theory, a Mushishi theory. Thanks for watching. But I choose to believe it. I think that that's what the tree was doing. And if that is the case, then we lost something truly, truly precious back during that time. If only that thing that was so truly precious could come back in some other form. Ginkgo breaks the bad news here. Hey, take this medicine. It's not going to cure you. We can't cure you. We talk to everybody, they don't know what to do. But it will slow the growth, and that's the best we can do. Ginkgo says he's going to go away and ask another Mushi, but we fall into a depression. Kanta does in the meantime. I really, really like these visions again, all the memories of the mountain. I like how it's edited. I think it's quite spectacular, specifically focusing on the tree and the corky moving within it. This is a very quick turnaround, but I do really like it as a concept. Once again, with this guy, it's all perspective. Like, hey, I can't play with my daughter anymore because of my condition. That's bad. but she still wants stories. Well, I can't get up and travel the world anymore. I'm not going to have any stories for you either. Despite being stuck at home and seeing my daughter grow up now, I still don't have any stories to tell. Motherfucker, you had stories the entire time. You have thousands of years of stories. That again makes up the episode's like final scene basically. He's like, I do have stories to tell you. Let me tell them. Let's go. That's him accepting his role. That's him being like, okay, I know my lot in life now that has been given me upon eating that plum. I'm able to embrace it, put my roots down in this place, and bond with my daughter as well. Quickly goes from what did I do to deserve this, a feeling of purposelessness, right, to, oh shit, I have a purpose. These flowers helped me warn the rest of the village. I serve a great role. I'm almost being venerated by the village itself as well. There's something we should keep around. Like it just all fits very well. And yeah, I mean, we saw the episode, right? Upon that night, that fateful night where the earthquake hits, he feels the plants agitated. He feels like something's wrong. I've had this feeling before. You didn't have this feeling. The tree did 550 years ago. Yo, that's fucking cool as shit. Yeah, it warns the rest of the village about an earthquake. He wakes everyone up in the middle of the night and they survive because of his actions. And yeah, instantly proven correct. Fucking earthquakes, man. Fuck that shit. Very, very, very well animated earthquakes too. Like, I like some of this stuff, this particular shot of the house. Yeah. That's very interestingly animated. Because there's still movement there, right? But it's just kind of being shaken in the frame too. It's a cool show. It's really, really cool, like, animation show as well. During the episode's epilogue here, we confirm what the tree's purpose was the entire time. To live with the village in a symbiotic way. To warn them about things that also endangered them and the rest of the kind of ecosystem of the mountain. The tree is able to continue this purpose even after it's been chopped down because of its kind of life cycle and stuff, and again, Kantha finds a new purpose in doing so. It's all about karmic kind of cycles and stuff, because now the village is helping repair his house before anybody else's as well. You're the reason why we're even alive right now. It's really fun for the mother's arc here as well. It's a little bit more subtle and in the background, but she's deeply disturbed by them having to cut down the tree all that time ago. Now she sees that all come back to the fore, right? She sees her son embrace that role as almost like the new tree. There's significance there for sure. It's like this tree that was my, like God is now my son. It's just like, it's a crazy thing to think about, man. But yeah, she now knows that all is right in the world. And it also satisfies her thing for wanting her son to stay put as well. And, you know, at least he's still alive, that kind of concept too. Just great. And yeah, final scene here. Him embracing being a homebody, him staying here. He's got a new role in the village. He's able to pass on this knowledge to his daughter as well, that next generation even after him, and tell all the stories about the tree and what it went through for all those thousands of years. Absolute cinema. Happy ending. We love to see it. Now, I think an interesting thing to think about too is how that episode serves as a finale for TV anime Mushishi. It's more conceptual, but I still think it hits those same themes in a really, really cool way. Yeah, I had a great time again. This show's great. Like, obviously, 2 thumbs up. How fucking good. How fucking good. I would imagine that we get a lot of our, like, big picture, serialized Mushishi, Ginkgo's arc type stuff, Forbidden Mushi stuff that we've been setting up during this special next week. That will be the final Mushishi thing. Excited to see it, of course. It's already up there on Patreon if you wanted to go see it. Like the video, subscribe. I am once again melting alive. I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Ciao.